Hi everyone, Jeff Meyer, broker and owner of Star One Realty Group.
And I'm Michelle Rame, general manager and team leader.
I'll be the one that comes to your home for the listing appointment. Once your home is listed, my listing team goes to work. My job is to get you into our marketing program. It's been successful for over 20 years.
I'm the closing specialist, and my team goes to work once we have an accepted contract. I make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed.
In some of these homes, we have both the buyers and the sellers.
And what's best about that, Jeff, is when we have a buyer for our seller, the commission is only 3%.
And remember with us, if you're not happy, you can cancel at any time.
This is Star One Realty Group with Michelle Rame,
Jeff Meyer,
and we are
Rocking Florida Real Estate.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Ah.
Say you don't know me or recognize my face. Say you don't care who goes to that kind of place. Knee deep in the hoopla, sinking in your fight. We got too many runaways eating up the night. Marconi plays the rumba. Listen to the radio. Don't you remember? We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
Someone always playing corporation games. Who cares? They're always changing corporation names. We just wanna dance here. Someone stole the stage. They call us irresponsible. Write us off the page. Marconi plays the mambo. Listen to the radio. Don't you remember? We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
It's just another Sunday in a tired old street. Police have got the choco. And we just lost the beat. Who counts the money underneath the bar? And who rides the wrecking ball into our guitars? Don't tell us you need us, 'cause we're the ship of fools, looking for America, crawling through your schools. Marconi plays the mambo. Listen to the
say hi to everyone.
How's it going, everyone?
And so Logan, and with Star One, Jeff always takes all the calls, and then Jeff goes on the appointment. So you're not going to see like a listing agent or anyone come out. You're actually going to get to meet either Jeff or myself, and he comes out and he does the listing. Logan, he's a specialist in the area of listings, and so once it is listed and you've gone over the numbers and you've come up with a price, it comes to him. And so Logan, why don't you tell us what happens when we hand you the folder?
So pretty much I get the folder. You should be expecting a call within that week after you list the property. I'll call you. We'll set up the best time for you. Usually like to come out from 10 to 4, but it's your preference, obviously. Me and Natalie, our photographer, will come out, do photos, measurements, and all that good stuff. Ask you a few questions about your house that you think will help your value and all that good stuff. And we try to come out, do everything. It takes about 30 minutes or so, not too long. But things that can help you prepare for when we come out is definitely have your property disclosures ready by the time we get there, because if you have those ready, it'll just make your life a lot easier. And I know questions are confusing on there, so I'm here to help you out. Everything's very personable. We're there for you. Customers always first, and that's how we see it. But after that, we pretty much take the photos, measurements, get your property disclosure, and then we upload it within the next day. It should be on the market. But it's all up to you. You're in control.
So Logan, what would you say are the most important pictures? So if somebody, of course, they can't live like, a show place or a model home, but what rooms do you think, especially for pictures where we have to have good pictures, but what rooms do you think that when somebody comes and sees the house, those are like the most important rooms?
So I would definitely say your living room and your kitchen. Right when you walk in, they're gonna know. And if you have a really nice master bedroom and bathroom combo, that's another big one too. Mm-hmm. Now, if there is clutter that you have, put it in a guest room, because we won't take photos of it. They'll get the idea. We'll have measurements so they can really picture what's going on there. But once you walk into a house, you know right away if you want it. So have that living, dining room, kitchen looking really good. And if you have a nice back porch, make it look nice. What made you buy the house? That is probably what they're looking for too.
Yep, that's what I always say. What made you buy that house will be the same reason. And I always find it kind of funny that people who are from Michigan tend to buy houses from people who are from Michigan. I don't know if it's because the houses are similar, but I always find, and sometimes they're even from the same county.
It's crazy.
It's kind of weird. But he's absolutely correct. Your house needs to be, when they walk in the house, like everything looks good right from that foyer. I always say they sprinkle magic foo-foo dust. But we tend to find this, we did a little bit of analysis on the house, and we had, 140 plus to analyze, and we are finding that a good front yard, even if you run out and just get a couple bags of mulch, or you put some rocks, it doesn't have to look, like a landscape or anything, but mowed grass, a nice front porch
can make a huge difference.
It makes a big difference, because usually, with the internet the way it is today, they can actually see, and then they run out and they look at the pictures, and then they want to go in and see it.
Exactly.
So you touched, and one thing I like about our property disclosures that we added at the very end, I have a pretty good space where you can put anything you want to tell the prospective buyer that you did to the house. Anything you added to the house, things that maybe you like about the house.
That's the best section you added to it. That has made all the. I think you added that about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And that has made a lot of difference in people's houses, because now buyers know, 5 years ago they've put all this in.
Right.
So it really just another way to help your value
right.
and get the price you're listing for.
And it helps the appraiser also.
And it helps the appraiser.
Yeah, because the appraiser, he's going to go over those property disclosures as well.
Exactly.
And so when he's tallying up the tally marks on that appraisal, definitely so. All right, so Logan, tell us about showing time and how we have it set up so that, we can get as many showings, because the key to getting quick contracts is showing the house. And we tell our people, show, because a lot of times if the agent has to jump through hoops, they're working with an out-of-town buyer, or they're working with people who work, and that might be the only time, and they'll find something else.
Always be available. I know from experience that someone couldn't show their house. Next thing we check out the neighbor's house and we bought it. Even though it wasn't nicer, they were available. And
Yep.
sometimes that's just what happens. But showing time is a service that we pay for, where we have a phone call center, which is real people that will call you and tell you who wants to see your house, what time, and they'll send it through either a text message or you'll get a call, and it's all up to you. You say yes, no, could they do 11, and they'll call. It really just makes life easier on you, and it keeps a log of who's going to your house. It's another good way to get updates about reviews of your house, like what people really liked or what people didn't like. There's a good feedback section for it.
Right.
Showing time is the way to go. Just always make sure when they call, you say yes.
But we also, so I hope when it's time for you to list your house, you'll give us a call and you'll get to meet Jeff. He's going to come out and go over the numbers. Of course, you know, he's 20 years experience. We've literally been in thousands of homes, listed and sold thousands of homes. Logan, Natalie been doing this. Logan's pretty much been doing it since he was like 5 years old.
Pretty
He's
much.
just now, you know, he can take the reins there on that. So give us a jingle. We'd love the opportunity to sell your house. This is Logan Rain, and I'm Michelle, and we will see you hopefully at the listing table. Hi everyone, this is Michelle with Star One Realty Group, and I'm sitting here with one of my 3 favorite sons, Tyler. And Tyler works for us. And so Tyler, what made you get into this business even though you have 3 degrees?
You know, I like to always tell people I got my license 2 years ago, about to get my broker's associate, but in reality, I've been doing this for over 20 years, since the time I could rollerblade. I remember as a kid, me and my little brothers and my best friend, Big Jeff's son, Jeffrey, we used to sit around the house all afternoon. We'd be rolling up newspapers, getting ink all over our hands, rubber banding them and just shoving them into trash bags. And at the end of the day, when the sun started to go down and get cooler, we'd go out to the neighborhood we'd want to throw papers at, and we'd just throw papers for hours until our arms would almost fall off. And we'd be in the back of the PT Cruiser, and when we needed to fill up, we'd grab another bag and we'd just keep throwing. And we always got paid in soda and candy and chips at 7-Eleven. We'd descend on 7-Eleven, just get everything we could grab and fill up. And if we did an extra good job that day, we'd go to Toys R Us, we'd get some Pokemon cards and stuff like that. So it was always fun. So I was always kind of eventually going to end up in real estate one way or another. So.
And that those, we call those the good old days.
Yeah.
We used to crank up the tunes, and as soon as the night went down, we went out. So Tyler, what do you do for Star One now that you're full-time agent for us? What do you do for the team?
Like I said, I mean, I got my license, so I sell houses here and there, but what I really spend the bulk of my time with Star One doing is I'm the closing coordinator. So how I like to describe that to people is the minute it goes under contract, I get it from contract to close. So I'm coordinating documents and contact information, communication between everybody that's involved between once you sign on the dotted line and once you get your check. So, I talk to the title company who's handling all the, legal stuff on the back end. I'm talking with the buyer's agents, making sure they have all the info they need, all the documents they need, HOA documents, contact information, odds and ends like that. And so, for lack of better terms, I'm kind of a glorified babysitter, just making sure everybody does their job and everybody has what they need to get everything done.
Definitely so, and he's a tremendous help to me because that's my part of it. Is now I watch over the bulk of people to do that. So Tyler, if you were talking to a prospective seller, what are some things that you would tell them that once they go under contract they need to do so that it would make things go smoother and no surprises?
So, I mean, definitely once the house goes on the market, I'd start thinking about getting things together such as your HOA documents, your HOA updated contact information, since that tends to change, from year to year. That definitely would help a lot because a lot of the time when it goes under contract, the buyers want to see, what kind of rules and regulations am I going to have to follow and who do I need to get in contact with for the application and the fee. So that would definitely help once you go on the market to kind of get that together. What also would help is if you get any receipts or warranties for anything you've done with your house recently, any kind of engineering reports, God forbid you had anything like a settlement issue or a sinkhole, you're going to definitely need that paperwork because if you're waiting to get that once you go under contract, it can take some time because usually you have to go through the county and we all know how fast the government works, so it takes some time. So it's definitely something you want to look at getting together once you go on the market versus once you go under contract.
And lots of times our prospective buyers, they're getting a mortgage for the house. So the seller has to do some things to make the process smooth. And what are some things that the lender might require from the seller to get that loan through?
The appraiser comes out, they're getting stingier and stingier these days on, you got to earn every penny they give you. So anything you can show them like, hey, we did this, it's definitely going to help you a long way because, if you don't have a record, they just might be, oh, you're just like Joe down the street. When you're out, you put 10,000 here, a couple thousand there. So it definitely helps to have that in order. And you want your house to be sparkling clean and ready to go on appraisal day because that's when they decide how much they're going to give the buyer and, whether or not the contract price meets what they think.
And one other thing is if you see the episode on title, it'll tell you what happens at the closing table. But basically Tyler's job is to make sure that before you show up at title, they have all their documents, the buyer has all their documents, and we've had some things happen and that we kind of try to avoid. So what is like one of the main things, like the most important thing that sometimes we just take for granted, but...
Yeah, I mean, it should go without saying. Obviously, you're going to bring your keys to closing day, so that way the buyers have those. But one thing that you would think you wouldn't even have to say, but it's happened before, I'm sure it'll happen again, is on closing day, make sure your electric's on, make sure your water's on, because they're going to want to double check that. But you also want to have your stuff packed up and moved out before closing day.
Yes.
That needs to happen before anything actually is done. So,
yeah.
believe it or not,
we've scrambled quite a few times on that, and
me and my brothers, we moved out a condo and a house on the closing day because they didn't realize they had to be moved out that day.
Right, and then we also had it where the one time when the movers came and they packed up half their stuff and then they didn't return. They said they were done. So, definitely want to have everything packed and ready to go for that final walkthrough, which is usually the last day before. But I'm very thankful that I have Tyler, and he's my right-hand man, as he is today. He's my right-hand man, and he makes everything go smoother, makes everything, where I can work on the selling of the house and the marketing of it, and frees us up time to do that. And that way then, you got someone who has a degree in finance and a degree in economics and computers and attends Harvard. So, you're in really good hands once you go under contract with us. So, and I have to brag because he's my kid. And Tyler, let's toast to another good year. This is Michelle and Tyler, and we are Rockin' Florida Real Estate.
Vows are spoken to be broken.